Hello and welcome back to another cosmic download. So today's reading is going to take you through from Monday, the 27th of April, all the way through to the beginning of May, 3rd of May on Sunday. So let's set the intention. So many big energies moving in the skies at the moment. Big astrological changes, exciting ones, big shifts, asking us to step into our true selves, our true worth, be bold, to be courageous, to take action on all the things that we've been putting to one side for so long. Now is the time. Such an exciting time. So give us guidance to help us navigate these beautiful, big, bold energies that are circulating us, that are navigating us, and help us to take the action that we need for our highest and greatest good. And so it is. Was that a singular card? Oh, it's not. It's three. But I liked how they all jumped out. Now I'm not going to look at that. I trust that one of those will come back up. Oh, there, we've got a very clear jumper there. Almost bent in half. Ooh, I like this one. Such beautiful. No matter how many times I use these cards, the imagery is just so gorgeous. So, Skybridge, possibility for union. There we have it. If you want to pause at this point and feel into the imagery, feel into the words, then do so. Otherwise, let's see what it says in the book. Oh, I love that picture. It's beautiful. Skybridge, possibility for union. Possibility for union, what needs to be connected or disconnected. You stand before a seemingly unbreachable abyss, but there is no possibility of retreat. The path behind you is no longer a viable option. You have to act soon, though, or you will run the risk of being stuck at the edge of the cliff. Life has brought you to this moment to offer you as yet undreamt of possibilities, but you must no longer postpone what you know to be inevitable. And yes, you are allowed a breath or two before the leap, so take a bit of time for yourself. Get away for a day or two of contemplation, or even for just a few minutes walk in to clear your head. Muster your courage so that you may cross the sky bridge. Sky bridge appears when the moment is absolutely right for a quantum leap. Life believes you are ready, even if you do not agree. Remember not to confuse your true state of readiness with your plans and preparation. Respond with a determined yes, and let the universe take care of the details. You need only hold on to your positive affirmation, and the way will become obvious as you take flight and clear the abyss. Ah, so good. Okay. So, first thing that sort of jumped out at me, which I don't think has anything to do with the guidance, but it just made me giggle a little bit. You have to act soon, though, or you run the risk of being stuck at the edge of the cliff. For those of you who've been in my world for some time will know that I've actually got a very true life story of being stuck at the edge of a cliff and having to take that leap of faith, find the courage inside me and jump, literally jump off this cliff 10 meters down into the ocean. And because turning back was no longer a viable option. That's exactly what it was. I really wanted to turn back and go the way I came, but it wasn't an option. And so I didn't act soon. It took me ages. I got so stuck on this cliff edge. But ultimately, I had to jump. I had to leap forward. And in hindsight, of course, it would have been so much easier if I didn't get into my head about all the fear, the possible scenarios of what might happen if I jump. All those imaginary stories that my brain was making up, compiled together from all the movies that I'd previously watched, of people crash landing on the rocks, or I don't know what was going through my head, but I froze, right? And I couldn't jump. Whereas it would have been so much easier if I just didn't look down and just jumped straight off that cliff as I came out of the cave, as I came out of the tunnel, and just went straight for it without getting in the head. Because ultimately the outcome was the same. I still had to jump because going back was not an option. But I made it so much more difficult on myself by stalling, by trying to plan and trying to get ready and prepare myself to take that leap, to take that jump. And it didn't make it better, and I wasn't any more prepared. If anything, quite the opposite. I was so in my head. The anxiety and the fear had just like compounded over the 10, 15 minutes that I had stood there. It really did not serve me. So I say that it's not I say it's an unrelated example, but actually it's not really, is it? It very much is that as well. But just a very tangible example of that. I feel like that's a really good reminder for me as well, because we all do it. It's just human nature, isn't it? When there is the unknown, that, when that leap, that jump is going to take you into the unknown, take you into the next phase, take you to the next level of your becoming. And it's unfamiliar and it's unknown. It's scary. And so often, especially if you're like me and you're very much a person of the mind, you do try to plan for it. You do try to prepare yourself for it. You do try to equip yourself with all the training, maybe, or all the tools, or all the equipment, or all the knowledge, whatever it is, so that you can be absolutely ready when you do then face that scenario. But really, all you're doing is stalling. You're stalling the inevitable. And if for some reason, depending on the context of this in your life, if you are able to avoid that leap, that jump, you then end up in this very, I feel like this very unrooted and, I'm struggling for words, but the imagery that's coming to my mind is a whirlwind. You get caught up in this very strong air energy because your feet aren't actually on the ground, because you haven't taken those steps forward. Yet you can't go back because what's been before has changed. It's moved on. That isn't an option. Yet you haven't firmly made a decision as to where you're going. So you're just in this limbo. And it's very uprooting, and it's not grounding, and it can be quite a turbulent time as well. There are moments in life where that is necessary and important as well. It's very much part of the phase, right? I'm not saying that that kind of a scenario is never good for us. It can be, but not if we always find ourselves doing that. Not if, especially now when, I talk a lot about the planets and the energy of that. But the reason I do so is because the energy that is, everything is energy, right? I hope we're all on the same page with that there. Everything is energy. And so our little human energy and everything that goes on with us in itself can feel like a whole universe and a whole world, because it is that complex. But then there is everything that's going on out there, like in culture, in the country, on the streets, in your city. But then even beyond our beautiful Earth and in the stars and amongst the planets. And when you've got such a large body of energy moving and shifting, it's inevitable that it affects us, massively affects us. So when we look to understand what the planets are doing, it helps us to navigate life, right? Because all of these teachings, all of these things that we share and talk about, or I do on my podcast, on the main podcast, they can't always be implemented all the time, because just like our bodily seasons come and go and are in flux and in rhythm and in change, as are the planets as well. And right now we've just seen the first quarter moon move into Leo on Friday, and a few other things going on as well. So there's this energy of courage, this energy of boldness, which resonates, and it's mirrored here in today's guidance. But then there's also this playfulness as well that's coming through, to just have fun and be light with things. And I think that combination is beautiful, because we can get so in our head and make things so serious and so absolute and so doom and gloom, and that's where we trip ourselves up. What is, more often than not, what is the worst case scenario if you do something or try something new or take that big bold step? What's the worst case scenario? And if you answer that question, it's usually not that bad. It's not life changing. It's usually something that you can just pick yourself up from and just recover from and get on with and try something else, right? It's like, oh, okay, it didn't work. Cool. It didn't work for whatever reasons. You can go and evaluate all of that. But we make it so big in our heads, like the world is going to collapse around us if we do this and it didn't work out in the way that we want it to, right? And we exaggerate the imaginative result in our mind. So again, this comes back to that embodiment energy as well, because when we get out of the mind and get into the body and just feel like, is this what my body is feeling? Is this what my soul is telling me to do? If it's a yes, surrender, trust. Okay, now let's take the action. You see how all of those has just been lined up for us so beautifully over the last few weeks? And I love a good quantum leap, right? Who doesn't? Skybridge appears when the moment is absolutely right for a quantum leap. But also know this about quantum leaps. They will only occur when you are truly ready. You can want them and desire them, and talk from experience here, but you may not always experience them if you are not fully ready. Respond with a determined yes. And do not confuse your true state of readiness with your plans and preparations. So I just touched on that as well. Like, if something's being presented to us, if an opportunity is here in front of us, and your body, your embodied self is saying yes, and it's expansive and it makes you come alive, and it's like, yes, I got to do this, I want to do this. That is your true state of readiness. Not if you've acquired the skills, or you've got the money, or you've got the network, or you know how to. It's not the how. Put all the how aside and trust that and go with it. And the way will become obvious as you take flight. And yes, absolutely. If you can and it's possible, take yourself away so you can really allow this to give yourself that space and that time to really allow this to come to the surface, to be certain about where it is you're taking these leaps. And, if the most you can do is then go for a short little walk, or even go to stand in your garden if you've got it, or your balcony, or just go connect with nature, as temporarily as that might be. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I want to say on it. Take that leap. Take that leap. There's the card again. Bring it closer for you to see that. Beautiful, beautiful imagery. I hope this serves you this week. I'd love to hear what big, bold, courageous action steps you will take this week, or maybe at the end of the week, write in and message me and let me know what you have done. Um, yeah, share that, because when you share those celebrations, when you share those wins, it amplifies your ability to do those things again, to take those bold, courageous steps again. So please do share it, and I will absolutely 100% put all my energy behind whatever it is that you endeavor to pursue and do. Sending you all my love. Have an amazing week, and I will see you next week. Bye.